Okay, so this is going to be kind of an overview of how to do some things in SPSS. I'm starting by taking us into the virtual workspace. Actually, maybe I should even start here. So we click on virtual workspace, type in our username, type in our password, and log in. Now you might have the duo, multi, whatever authentication, you may have to do that. So I've talked about kind of going into the desktop, but there's two ways. So you can go one of two ways. You can go into IBM SPSS 25 right away. We'll do that for today and hit open. I'm going to pause for a second just because it may take a few minutes. SPSS takes a while to load, so you need to be patient. All right, so I think we're still waiting for it to load. You'll see that this, when you go in that way, it'll go like this. Nope, it's still, yes, it's still loading. You can see that. Here we go. So in order to close that, see this tab here, we just click on that and that'll get that out of our way. So SPSS is going to open up and we're going to actually, I'm going to show you how to enter some data, and then we'll also talk about how to run some simple statistics. And again, I'm going to, there we go. Pause us for a second. Okay. So what happened here? Oh, sorry. There, we're good. I was concerned we had stopped. Okay, so you'll see that I have actually opened a bunch of files, so I'm not going to do that. But what we're going to do is we're going to open up here where it says new files. We're going to click on new data set, and we're going to scroll down here and click open, and that's going to take us to a blank data set. So if you look down here, there's two tabs. There's a data view tab and a variable view tab. So you start in the variable view because this is where you're going to actually type in the name of the variable and some additional information. So we're going to put in two variables today. We're going to have case, so we're going to call it case. Now it's going to ask us what type of variable, and we're going to click on here. Usually, simplest thing is to use numeric. Notice here that it gives us the option for width and decimal places. When we're talking about like an ID number, we don't really need decimal places, so I'm going to change that to 0. And since it's only going to have a 2 digits at maximum, I'm going to set it for 4, a width of 4. Nope, not 44, 4. My apologies. Sorry, it's moving very slowly today. Looks like we're locking up for a second. I'm going to pause. All right, sorry about that. I was having a little internet issue, so we're going to make it a width of 4, and I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to expand this so it fills the window. So you can see here it says width 4 spaces, decimal zeros. If we want, we can give this a label and call it ID number and be done. So the other options we have values. We're not going to need that for this one, but we'll be using that at another point in time. So now we're going to enter our other variable, which we're going to call number of pets. So I'm going to call it NO pets, which for me indicates number of pets. Your variable name should be descriptive so that you recognize what it is. Again, this is going to be numeric. Again, it's going to be only really 2 digits. There's not going to be any decimals. So again, we can get rid of decimal places and again, change that to 4. And we'll hit OK. And I can give it a label number of pets. All right. So now that's done, I can go click here in this bottom left-hand corner over to data view, and I can now enter the data. So what I'm going to do is so you can actually, if I can get this to work. Everything is being temperamental today. Why? Okay, yes, so everything's being a little temperamental. I'm just going to show you, I have a little data set over here on the side here, and I'm going to use that data set to enter the data. All right, so for some reason, actually, I'm going to pause it for a second. All right, so now you can actually see the data set that I'm planning to enter. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a case number. So I believe there's 12 cases, so I'm going to enter case number 1. And the first case had 0 pets, so I'm going to enter 0. And I'm just basically using the top line here, my computer keyboard to do that. So case number 2, and in order to move from one to the next, I just hit tab, and that's going to tab me over, and I'm going to hit 0. If I want to go down, I hit enter. So I use this. Case number 3 had 1 pet. Case number 4, tab, had 1 pet. And, simplest way is I can just, use my mouse to scroll down and move into the correct place. Case number 5 had 1 pet. Oops, 1 pet. Case number 6 has 2 pets. Case number 7 has 2 pets. Actually, I can even make this easier for myself by doing this. Insert columns to the left. And we are once again going to have to pause. All right, so I put in the case numbers and the X values so it's easier to see. So case number 8, tab over, has 2 pets. Case number 9, tab over, has 2 pets. Click in the space. Case number 10 has 3 pets. Case number 11 has 3 pets. Case number 12 has 4 pets. And case number 13 has 5 pets. All right, so simple so far. And you'll see if you follow along and you look in your sprint hall text, this will give you all the details that you need. You can just literally follow it step by step and it will tell you exactly what you should do. Now, next thing you're gonna want to do is save your data. So I don't know why the view here is so small. Let's see if I can fix that. Anyway, I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, so I go over to the File tab over here, and I'm going to click on Save As. And what I'm going to want to do, so you can see I have a lot of things here and here, but you want to go to your home drive or it will have your NetID. So mine says home drive. I think yours has your NetID name. So click on that. And so you can see I have a lot of files in here. So I'm going to actually scroll over to spot. I'm going to go to my course materials, and I'm going to go to Psych 212. Double click on that. And then I'm going to create a new variable, a new folder. Click on that. Then it's going to be Psych 212 Data Demo Summer 2020. And I'm going to hit open. And now I'm going to give this name. So I'm going to call this Demo Data Summer 2020. So I've given it a name and I'm going to hit save. Okay. Now, one of the other things to notice is I'm just going to click on Windows here. You'll see there's actually 2 windows open. We have the demo data, which is open now, but if I scroll over to output, what the output does is it actually tells me everything, it records every step that I've taken in this process. So right now it says new file dataset name, dataset 1, that's when I opened up a new dataset, and now it says save out file, and it's telling me where I've saved it and the name that I've given it. So we can now go back to our data set. And one of the first things that we want to do is to calculate descriptive statistics. So the descriptive statistics are ways in which, like its name implies, it's a way in which we describe the data. And we've talked about describing the data in more than one way. We've talked about measures of central tendency, mean, median, and mode. And we've also talked about measures of spread. So range, interquartile range, variance, and standard deviation. So we're going to go into this. So along the top here, you've got a bunch of different different I don't know, menus, that's the word I'm looking for. We're going to go into the Analyze menu, and we're going to scroll down to Descriptive Statistics. Now, your textbook has you go to descriptives, and that's fine. But I'm actually going to have you go a different spot because I prefer to use, well, we'll do descriptives first. How's that? And then we'll do the other one. So we're going to go from descriptive statistics to descriptives. We're going to select that. And so we don't care about ID number because it doesn't have any value, but number of pets is important to us. And so we're going to click on number of pets till it's highlighted, and then we're going to move it over into this other window here under the word variable. And then what we're going to do is we can look at options, and options asks us what do we want. Well, in here it's going to give us the mean. It'll give us a sum if we want. It's automatically, so the default is the mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. We can also ask for the variance and the range. And I'll show you why I like the other approach better. But we've selected all these things, so we're going to hit continue. None of these other things are really all that important to us, so I'm going to cancel that, and we're just going to hit OK. And what's going to happen is that the output window will pop up, and it's going to give us some information. Okay, so the first thing it gives us, N, tells us the total number of cases that are being included. The range tells us the range of values. Minimum is the lowest value in the distribution. Maximum is the highest value in the distribution. If we were to add up all of the X values, we'd get a sum of 26. The mean is 2.0. The standard deviation is 1.47. And the variance is 2.167. And if you took a calculator out, I'm sure that you would find that the square root of 2.167 is in fact 1.42, 1.47. And in fact, we can do that. So pull up a calculator here, and we've got square root of 2.167, 2.167, take the square root of that, and it gives us 1.47. So you can see that the variance is the square of the standard deviation. Okay, so that's how your book tells you to do it. I'm going to show you a different way that I tend to prefer, which allows us actually to do some additional things. So we're going to scroll down again to descriptive statistics, and then we're going to scroll over to the right again, but now we're going to select frequencies. Now, same thing. We're going to select our variable that we're interested in, which is number of pets, and we're going to move it over into the variables window. You'll see here it says display frequency tables. So this is actually going to produce the simple frequency distribution tables that you have been creating by hand. Now you can actually have SPSS calculate or create them for you. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to click on statistics. And as I said, this gives us some additional information that we don't get from the descriptives table. So we can request the mean, the median, the mode, not particularly interested in the sum. We can get the standard deviation, the variance, and the range. And we can also ask for quartiles. So it will cut the distribution. It'll tell us what the Q1, Q2, Q3 is, Q4 is, so we can calculate our interquartile range if we want. So we're going to hit continue. And the other thing that we can do is we can go to charts, and we can ask for a histogram. And in fact, we can ask it to show the normal curve on the histogram. So we're going to click histogram, show normal curve on histogram, and we're going to hit continue. And again, none of these other things are going to be interesting to us, so we're going to just hit OK. And again, the output window will pop up for us now. It's going to take a little longer because I'm asking for a few different things. So here, remember I told you it gives us a record of everything we've done. So here is the syntax for the command that's getting run within SPSS. And then here we have our descriptive statistics. We have our mean, median, mode, our standard deviation, our variance, our range, and our percentiles. So I'm out of time on this tape, so I'm going to stop here and then I will continue in the next video.